All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back, and we about to get this thing popping and going. All right. Yes. You know the Super Bowl's today. We're looking at Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. It's the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce effect. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna take a look at their charts just like last time. About to share my screen with you right now. Doing things a little bit differently, y'all, as y'all can see. All right, so it's a good thing. All right, so you be able to see me and see the chart too. And this is how we're going to learn astrology from now on. I'm going to be showing you guys step by step where everything at on the on basically the wheel. Okay. Especially if I got the chart, we just not gonna be looking at the chart on the computer no more. I'm gonna be pointing stuff out as you can see me. All right. Because it's important. All right. So, of course, looking at Taylor Swift chart, we're going to be looking at Travis Kelce's chart as well. We don't have his birth time, but we do have her birth time. I did do a video about this before, about how it's just sex. And yes, it is. I mean, it's just sex. However, this sex is going to produce a particular outcome. Okay. And things are just being done and on the astrological plane, and things are being set up right now to create that. All right. And number one, again, we're gonna just kind of go back through her chart a little bit. Let's just take a look at it step by step. She was born December 13th, 1989 at 5:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. She was born in Reading, Pennsylvania, as you can see. Now, what we have, and again, I always talk about this when I see Mars in the first house like this. Of course, you got Mars in Scorpio. And the reason I said it was just sex between them, um, it can't go beyond that. It can go beyond that to a certain extent, but it's only gonna stop at a certain extent. Okay, it's gonna stop at a certain extent, and the reason I'm telling you that is because your run is basically right now. It's about to go into her seventh house. Okay. Now, when Uranus goes into her seventh house, that's not very fruitful for a relationship, and it's not very fruitful for marriage. Okay. Because Uranus, as you know, rules infidelity. So she's going to be going through a particular cycle where it's not very fruitful for marriage or relationships. So it's not there yet, but it's coming. It's moving up to her seventh house. But for right now, I would suggest to her, if she was, consulting with me, just if she's gonna try to stay with Travis, just let it be a boyfriend thing. Do not get married, because it's just not gonna end well for her if she gets married. But yeah, they have very good sexual chemistry, and the reason being, and I'm gonna point this out one more time again. You see Mars is close by her ascendant at 26 degrees of Scorpio. I'm pointing it out right there. His Venus is at 26 degrees of Scorpio. Okay, so you got his Venus sitting on top of her Mars, making a nice conjunction. That's really good sexual chemistry, especially since it's in Scorpio. Okay, so that's really good for him. All right, a lot of sex, man. I can tell you that right now. Now, this next solar eclipse. Now, she already had a solar eclipse in her fifth house. That's the fifth house of children. Okay, the fifth house does rules entertainment. As you know, she's in entertainment, so she's doing a lot of entertaining, right? That's why it's the Taylor Swift effect, because she's doing a lot of entertainment type stuff, and it shows with that eclipse that happened April 19th of last year of 2023. All right, so she got that going. She's gonna have another eclipse occur in her fifth house. In on April 8th. Okay, so that's going to occur. Now, she's already doing a lot of entertaining. All right, so it's possible. It is possible. And and we live in a world of duality, so you have choices, right? So she is possible for her to do more entertainment, and it's also possible for her to be pregnant. All right, because of course, she's getting hit with 2 solar eclipses in that 5th house. So the energy has to go somewhere, right? So just keep that in mind. It's going to be occurring in 19 degrees. It's going to be occurring in 19 degrees of Aries, okay? So that eclipse is going to occur right in her 5th house. And of course, like I said, the 5th house rules children and rules entertainment, rules gambling, all that stuff. But since she's having so much sex, um, she's probably going to be pregnant, all right? I can tell you that right now, all right? You heard it first right here, all right? So because that 19 degrees, with that eclipse being at 19 degrees of Aries, it's going to trine a lot of stuff, okay? Number one, it's going to be trining her sun at 21 degrees of Sag, as you can see, right? It's going to be trining that. It's going to be trining her sun, and that's huge, okay? In the 1st house. That's the house of self, of course. And then it's going to make a separating aspect to the south node, okay? At 17 degrees of Leo. So we got a grand trine with the solar eclipse in the 5th house. So that right there, yeah, man, that's some baby producing shit. Okay, so just keep that in mind, guys. If she pop up pregnant, y'all know what the deal is. Okay, y'all know it's been set up astrologically. All right. So but like I said, things are going well for her. Also, we had another solar eclipse. We are just talking about these eclipses, and the reason I'm kind of getting on the eclipses is because she's had some that's kind of making things happen, as it should, as God intended, right? Now that last solar eclipse that happened in October, that happened in 21 degrees of Libra. Okay, so it happened in her 11th house. That's the 11th house is the 11th house, right? It's the house of what? Politics. It's the house of friends, groups of people. Yes, she's been around a lot of groups of people, right? But she's going to be doing more things politically. So just look for that because that eclipse occurred right there. All right. And that hit a lot of stuff. Of course, that eclipse hit her, 8th house. It made a trine to it. And also, kind of think about it, that wow, that eclipse, it made eclipse a series at 29 degrees right there of Gemini. So, and Ceres rules fertility. So there you go. So that's kind of, again, that's leaning towards her getting pregnant again, right? You see what I'm saying? And Ceres is in what? It's in the 8th house. That's the 8th house of sex, right? So there you go. I mean, she got a lot of stuff that's pointing to her being pregnant. So just keep that in mind. If she comes up pregnant, then y'all know what the deal is. But like I said, I mean, she's really not built for a relationship per se. That's why she's always in and out of relationships. If you look at her Juno, it's at 8 degrees of Scorpio. It's and look at her Venus, is at 1 degrees of Juno. Either things get boring or it's too overbearing for her. She need a space or something like that, or she may become over aggressive in some way, or more possessive in some way. So it's it's not our fault. You know what I'm saying? She was designed like this, so she just got to take the bitter with the sweet. And also, it's really a T square. Of course, you got Juno is in opposition of her part of fortune, right in the 6th. That's creating, like I said, it's creating well, it's an opposition. It's really not in it's not in bounds for the, what I'm saying, that's too, it's out of reach basically. So it's not creating any type of aspects. It probably is. I'm not about to add it up right now, but it's out of reach to create a square aspect with Venus, that part of fortune right there. So it is in opposition though to her Juno. And also, is her part of fortune is in opposition to Pluto as well. So, but just to point that out, but they're doing really good. There's nothing wrong with them. They're both entertainers. Let's take a look at his chart real quick, but I just want to point out how, their charts they charts differ and how things are progressing. Also, keep this in mind that hey, he's still playing football right now. So, yes, things are going real well between them, right? But again, Mars is right by her ascendant. So she has anger issues. He has anger issues, as I'm about to point out as well. So it's all about conflict resolution. Okay. So they're going to have to make sure they work on their conflict resolution skills because they both have Mars very strong. Okay. Of course, Mars rules arguments, it rules fights, it rules all those things. So they're going to have to make sure that they are, confident in resolving their, issues, when they have conflict. Of course, yeah, they go have makeup sex. All right. Of course they are. Because his, like I said, his Venus is conjunct her Mars in Scorpio. So they go have makeup sex. They go have sex, of course, right? But you got to look beyond sex, okay? So just make sure, they have to look beyond sex. Also, I had a commenter. She was asking, how you know when someone's taking love for granted? What does that mean? Because we've had, charts that we've looked at where we've had people take love for granted, right? So, yeah, so and this happened when you had Venus retrograde. When you see Venus retrograde, yes, when you have that particular astrological design or planetary alignment with that particular sign and its retrograde, yes, most in my opinion and in my client client research and all and consulting with clients and stuff like that. And when they've had Venus retrograde, they have at one time taken love for granted. And what that means is that they have, they didn't appreciate that person, how they gave their love. Okay. They didn't appreciate it. Okay. They took their kindness for weakness. They took advantage of them. Just basically being unappreciative of what that person has done for you or what. That's what that means when someone takes love for granted. That other person is doing for them. Okay, does that make sense? So, but yeah, you guys, if you got a question astrologically, yeah, just feel free to ask. Okay, because this is learning. Okay, it's about learning more and more about astrology. It's about expanding this astrological dimension, okay, on Earth. Let's go ahead and switch it up, and we're gonna go to we're gonna check out Travis's chart because if you see his chart, again, we don't have his birth time, but we know he was born October 5th, 1989. At in Westlake, Ohio. Now, let's say something about age gap dating. Okay, so we know these two were both born in 1989, and the reason age gap dating works the most, it works better because the outer planets, sometimes they make different aspects to the inner. Okay, now when you don't age gap date, the outer planets, since they move so slow, they're in the same spot. They're mostly in the same spot. Okay. So, for example, his Neptune is at 9 degrees of Capricorn. Okay. Since he was in October and she's in, some months down or some months back, I mean, if that was the case, Neptune would be in the same position because it moves so slow. Okay. Same thing with Saturn. Sometimes a lot of times with Uranus, they be in the same spot. Okay, so you just you have to keep that in mind. That's why the man has always been kind of older than the woman because when you got those different planetary alignments, it makes the compatibility much stronger unless you have some of the inner planets like Mars and Venus. Case in point, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, they got their Venus, his Venus and her Mars are making a nice conjunction in Scorpio. So, of course, they're compatible sexually. That's really good, right? All right. But other stuff, they're not so compatible. You know what I'm saying? Um, they communicate really well, on the onset, right? But like I said, he's playing football right now. They haven't spent any time together by themselves alone, right? Have they? No, they have not yet. But I'm telling you right now, after the season ends, after the Super Bowl, when they start spending time together, yes, they're gonna be banging it out. Okay, up into April and all that stuff. And like I said, that pregnancy may occur. But if not, okay, I'm telling you right now, this is how they're gonna part ways for a minute, okay? But they're gonna be in and out with each other. I can tell you that right now. His Mars is right by the sun. What did I tell you guys? Well, Mars is right by the sun. First of all, it's people with that type of astrological aspect and design, they are going to have anger issues. Okay, that's just how it is. All right, that's just how they were designed, and that's how things go in the real world out here. If you see a person he doesn't look violent right now. He's pretty nice on camera, right? But all this stuff occurs when in private, in relationships. Mars is in so that's and that Libra scales is it can go to the extreme from one end to the other. Okay. 1 minute, yeah, he cool, but next thing you know, I mean, if he really gets upset, he's gonna get upset. I mean, that's just how he is. All right. So he's gonna have to learn conflict resolution skills, control his anger. All right. Telling you. So that's just how he is. He has Juno right by the sun. It's combust, it's debilitated a little bit. So that's one thing. So Juno rules relationship went out that you look his Venus and Scorpio. So you guys keep that in mind. The North and South Node is squaring them. Okay, so that alone, okay, that shows you that hey, it's there, but unfortunately, hey, he's gonna have some issues when it comes. You guys got to keep in mind something. Her Mars, that means her Mars is squaring. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, so if you look at the South Node, it's at 24 degrees of Leo. Okay, so right off the back, that's going to create some conflict, isn't it? All right, um, especially when it comes to who's in charge here, who's leading. Um, she may feel like, hey, you've been, I don't know what you think you're doing, but hey, I make all the money, I'm leading. Also, just looking at the North Node in Aquarius, that'll be squaring her Mars as well. So it may conflict with. So, but these are just relationship aspect they're gonna have to deal with and make sure they're doing things to reduce arguments and also resolve conflict. And that's very important. We got of course we have um, Valentine's Day coming up. I'm going to be doing a Valentine's Day special with two couples. We're going to be taking a look at their charts. We're going to learn what works. Okay, we're going to be looking at a couple that has a chart that works. So and that's coming up. So we're going to definitely take a look at that on the 13th. That's going to appear on the 13th. So you guys look out for that because I'm definitely going to do a Valentine's Day special on the 13th. Probably not on the 14th because you guys will be busy. History going on. I can tell you that right now. Communication, do they communicate well? Because that's the key right there, right? Does he communicate well? Does she communicate well with each other? That's important. That's very, very important. All right. So just a little sum on them. We're gonna see how the Super Bowl go, but they do have an effect on the world. They really do, right? They're like the celebrity couple. They're like a power couple. So he's very athletic, very athletic, and he's You know, he really do. He loves doing a lot of things. Travel is really good for her as of right now. With the chemistry that they, we're just gonna look out for April and look out and see how things are gonna go. But I wouldn't suggest these two people get married. Of course, I already point that out. They both have their issues that they have to kind of iron out. But as far as and politics and stuff like that, yeah, they both are good for that. They do real good together with that. But she's just not ready to, settle down as of right now, especially with those eclipses being in her fifth house like that, and you know, uh, it really kind of hit her in her fifth house. That's it. That's all entertainment. I mean, during the Super Bowl, she's going to be in, I think, Japan or something like that, somewhere over there. So she has a lot of shows that's going to be coming up. So kudos to her and kudos to him. He's doing a lot of commercials and getting a lot of endorsements going on. So they really good together in the entertainment world. So if she gets pregnant or something like that, that's going to throw a monkey wrench in it. But it's just about time for her to, make it happen like that. If they was consulting and just stay together, just as girlfriend and boyfriend. I like that, but not getting married. All right, because I'm telling you right now, she's going to be going through a cycle that's just not fruitful for marriage. So and we'll talk about that later. Like I said, I just wanted to touch bases with you guys about this since it's a Super Bowl and all that good stuff. And it's this, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce effect, because they're affecting everything. The charts and planetary alignments are so powerful right now that it's affecting everything. But yeah, but just like and subscribe, guys, to the channel. Share this video too, because like I said, a lot of people don't understand or know what's about to happen. They don't know why these two people, like, why they click so good. Well, like I said, it's just this Venus and Mars conjunction, right now. But what matters the most is what's going to happen after he comes off the field. All right, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to matter the most. Right now, they're apart a lot. They're not in the same space a lot, meaning they're not in the same space every day. All right. But when you get two people in the same space, that's when the different personalities come out. That's when you have, different astrological energies interacting with each other. Right now, those astrological energies are separated. So just keep that in mind. All right. And I'll see you guys on the next video, because I'm definitely gonna be speeding up the videos. All right. So peace out.